Day 14 of the 15-day blog challenge. I'm Natalie Sisson, yet again. You're almost there, you're just 2 days away, and tomorrow is like a summary day. So this is your last final full-on challenge, which is how to live as if you were traveling the world without even leaving your hometown. Now, why I thought this was really important in the blog challenge is that a lot of people don't want to travel the world like I do. They don't actually even want to live in another country. They just want to know that they have that feeling of exploring a new place, of seeing the world through a different lens. And I know that that is really important. Travel for me personally is one of the richest experiences you can ever have. And so I find it really important when I do meet people that they do get out of their own town, out of their own country, travel and experience other cultures, people, languages. But I appreciate not everybody can at the particular time in their life. So the other thing that I see is that some people who have traveled and then come home kind of are a little bit like, oh, it's a bit boring now, I don't know any of my friends anymore, or they're all doing the same thing, or you just feel a little bit stagnant. If any of those things apply to you right now, what I wanted to do today was just talk about how you can experience where you're living right now from a new perspective. So I know in Wellington, whenever we used to have visitors come and stay with us, we would take them around this beautiful city, as you can see behind, and we'd show them all the really cool things like Mount Vic Lookout, the botanical gardens, come down to the harbour front, go cycling around the marina and the parade, take them to some very cool cafes, show them shopping streets, take them up to Wrights Hill Lookout, just whatever we felt like doing that really showed off the city, like the cable car, the view from there is amazing, right? But every single time we took visitors there, it was like, wow, Wellington is such an awesome city. And it's really important that you consider your city from that perspective when you're living in it, and think about different things that you can do to just see it in a different light. Could you go to the fine dining restaurants or the latest, coolest cafes that all the tourists are visiting? Could you go and see some of the museums that maybe you always think about going into but never do because you've lived in the city for 25 years? You know what I'm talking about. How often do you walk through your local parks? How often do you go and visit art galleries? When do you go to local shows and plays and musicals as if you are a tourist coming into town, like a lot of people do in New York and London? You know, whenever you go to those cities, you go and you do all the touristy things and you see everything, and then you meet locals who have lived there all their life and they're like, oh, I've never done that actually, that's probably a good idea. So that was really my challenge for you today, was to consider, if you're not traveling, what can you do in the current destination you're in to get a new perspective on it, a fresh perspective, to see it in a different light, to see it from the way tourists might see it when they come, to connect with foreigners who come into town and speak their language and show them around and kind of feed off their energy of being in a new place with you and seeing it, as I said, in that different light. And this also goes for those of you who've been traveling for a long time and are kind of getting complacent about travel. You're like, you know what, I saw the Guggenheim Museum when I was in Bilbao in Spain, I don't really need to see this one, or oh, I've been to the Tate Modern before, I don't know if I need to go again. I just challenge you to always come at it with that place of curiosity and to think, you know, if it was raining tomorrow and I didn't do this today, would I have missed out? And I always remember this experience when I was in St. Petersburg in Russia, and I really wanted to go and see the incredible museum that is there. And we went on a Monday, and Monday was the last day that I was there, and it was closed, and so I missed out. I was only there for 5 days, but I didn't plan it very well, and we were like, oh, we'll do it tomorrow, we'll do it tomorrow, we'll do it tomorrow, and we missed out. And my dad is brilliant for this. Whenever we get to a new city, when we were kids and we'd go around the world, he'd be like, let's go out for a walk and explore. And I'd be like, oh, you know, let's just sit here for a bit, or let's go and do this, or maybe let's just chill out in the hotel room for a little. And he'd be like, no, we're gonna go and do it now because tomorrow might be rainy, or we might not get the chance to do this again. And I love that attitude. So I want you to adopt it as well, because I have just had the best life experiences from doing things on the spur of the moment, in the moment, and at the right time. So day 14's challenge for you is, what one thing are you going to do in the location that you're in right now, whether you've lived there all your life or you're new to it, that is going to make you feel alive, feel curious, feel like a kid again, and feel like a tourist? Please pop that into your blog post reply. I'm really looking forward to reading them.